If we double click on the human-centered design, because it's kind of a buzzword still, and a lot of people, from my experience, still don't understand it. How would you define that in the work that you do?
I think it's designing for humans with humans, and there's a series of principles that embody human-centered design. So it's human-centered, so we get and we work with the people that we're designing it for. So if we think about healthcare, that's not only patients, or, I don't really like calling them patients, but it's, people, carers, healthcare professionals. And then, if we look at a sector like pharma, there's a whole bunch of other people involved in that, kind of payers, buyers, regulators, right? So it's all the people. So that's the first sort of principle of human-centered design. The second principle is human-centered design is holistic. We're not looking at, the consent form when you go to the doctor. We're looking at every single element of that experience, kind of leading up to that moment that you go and see a doctor, everything sort of surrounding that. So it's the design of, yes, a single touch point, but also that kind of ecosystem where that problem occurs. And so a term like service design, for example, is a good way to kind of demonstrate how human-centered design needs to be holistic. We need to design for the human, and then we sort of go behind the scenes and look at process, tech, people, and what's happening that needs to kind of support those experiences. The third principle of human-centered design is that it's iterative. It's not kind of set and forget. It's not like, oh, yeah, cool, now we've designed that app and everyone can go and enjoy good healthcare or whatever it is, get on their flight in an okay way. It's iterative. It's sort of constantly checking in because... And I'm going to come back to this because I think that this is one of the reasons why it's so exciting to be a human-centered designer at the moment, because our behaviour in the last 12 months has just totally changed because of AI. So it's iterative. Human-centered design is also tangible. So we make things. We don't just make PowerPoint slides. I mean, I do make a lot of PowerPoint slides, but it's making prototypes and mocking things up and designing things with people. And then the last one is that it's co-creative, and that's a little bit different to sort of it being human-centered in that you create it with the stakeholders who are involved, and that's a really important part, and I think that's a big part that people get wrong, and people think that co-design or co-creation is just chucking a bunch of people in a room together and doing a workshop for 2 hours. Like, that's not good co-design, So I guess those are the principles of human-centered design, and then, of course... for everyone who loves the process, which everyone does, a nice linear, clear process, there is a little bit of a process that we go through. I guess I really love what's called the double diamond process, which was coined by the UK Design Council in 1982, so it's pretty old, or older than me anyway. Maybe not as old as you, Jens. And that's sort of, discover, define, design, deliver. But the reason why I love that linear way of doing it is it has 2 diamonds attached to it, and the diamonds are about your mindset during that process. So discovery is that first opening of the diamond where we think really broad and without any restrictions and like a beginner. And then we start to make sense of that, right? And then we get to the other diamond. And this is my favorite part of the design process, is we go broad again. And this is where innovation happens, right? In this part of the diamond where we go blue sky thinking anything's possible. And then as we come to the end of that second diamond, that's where we go, okay, well, how do we make this real? How do we kind of make this profitable? How do we build revenue off of this product or service or whatever?
The key part of that, what I have experienced myself being in large organization, is that you have someone who guides you through that. Because I think the part of the co-design, what I have experienced, you need to have someone who has done it a couple of times, who is an expert in this, and who as well takes the team outside of their comfort zone in between, and then looking into whom else do we need to involve in all of this, not just, let's bring a couple of customers in and then we talk to them. It's really looking into what are the ripple effects in an organization and why are things not implemented after. Because that's, I think, one of the things that I see always where organizations at least are a little bit scared about, and maybe scared is not the right word, but it's more... They're not investing into this kind of things because they don't see the outcome straight away. But I think it's also looping that back to what you said, is the behavior changes that need to happen in an organization now coming even more so. But you need to enable an organization as well to get into that direction, and then using a professional like yourself, then driving these changes in the organization so that it's really happening.
100%.